This just came in, and I'm not using this as a regular doorbell. I'm actually looking to use it for a different idea, and I'm gonna let you know what I'm doing and how I'm gonna work it. I need to make some measurements. Make a long story short, we have a neighbor who needs to be contacted by their neighbor who is a relative of theirs, and they'd like to be notified right away. They can get an intercom system, but you'd have to run wires, and some of those wireless systems and things like that are very expensive. Some are wireless, but they become an issue in regards to cost and running lines and wireless interference. So I came up with a very simple idea I gave them an idea that maybe would be much simpler to implement and faster and cheaper to implement than doing the whole intercom system. So neighbor one needs neighbor two, if they're in trouble, to notify neighbor one so that neighbor one can come to neighbor two's aid. So I thought of, why don't we just use doorbells? And I was hoping that they're small enough. Again, I do these videos many times because you visually cannot see the size of the actual item. So it becomes very difficult to do measurements. So what they wanted was to have for the person to have something in their pocket or around their neck that will be able to be it's small, not in their way, and they easily can press. I don't know, I hope this is small enough. But they're gonna need something where they can press a button. Hopefully she can keep this in her pocket and there should be no issues. I was hoping it was a lot smaller. But I think that the reason they have these devices is because of the fact that the bigger they are, the more range they have. So it comes with two of them. And the persons that in home 1 or home A, did I say home 1 or home A? I don't recall. Okay, so we're gonna go with home A. I think I did home 1. I did home A? Home A, okay. So people in home A, right? I'm sorry, I am continuously recording and I don't want to have to go back, but we'll do it again. Home A will have these, which are the receivers of the sound coming from the doorbell itself. So this will be there. I bought two of them because what this will do is that they have 2 floors. So one will be on the first floor, the other one will be in the basement. So I'm hoping it's loud enough. They're right next door to each other, so there should be enough distance. I think it gave, and I got to confirm it below, I think it said 1,000 feet, but we'll see. And these will be the items that she can have. She can have one that comes with, as a matter of fact, there's 3 receivers. Sorry about that. So, so this was the idea. One will go in the garage. One will go on their first floor living room area. And one will go in their basement. There's a bedroom that they have, so it can go in that area to be notified, because that's where they spend most of their time. She will have these with her. So
when you say she, that will be home B or
home B, I'm sorry. Home B will have these with her. So she'll carry one. Maybe she'll keep one alongside her bed. She'll always have an extra one. If she's in trouble, she presses it and that'll ring and they'll know to run over to help her.
Oh, that's pretty ingenious. That's a good hack. And honestly, I'm looking at the sizes. I was hearing you. I don't think they're that big. I know somebody who has one of those personal emergency systems, and they have the version where they can have a bracelet or wear one around the neck, and they have the neck one, and it's just a little thinner than this, but it is about almost the same actual size of it, and get very light. So I don't think it'll be cumbersome, and it actually may be better because if you're having some sort of personal emergency or fumbling, it'll be easier to grasp if you have it in your pocket or in a smock or a house coat, and press it a lot easier than if it were too small. And also with older people, sometimes because of arthritis or other medical conditions, they may not have enough force in their fingers, and this is large enough area that they're able to press it.
I didn't know that. I thought they came tiny. I don't know anyone with one of those assistant things. I kind of saw them on commercials, but that's it. So I never physically saw them. So they tend to be that size?
They're a little smaller than this, but I would say like it's not even about half an inch on each side, and then just somewhat a little thinner. But that's because they wear them around the neck. But to keep it in your pocket, I think this is great. And it's very light.
I don't know if it has batteries. I think, oh yeah, it has batteries because the lights are going off.
So it'll be interesting to try it out.
So what did you think about my idea? My wife overheard what I was saying on the video and she came over. So you think it's a good idea? It's the cheapest, am I correct? This cost, I think, $30.
Well,
I don't think you could get that put into a home next to each other for less than that.
I think value-wise is excellent, but also for the exact purpose that you need, it's excellent because you don't want, this doesn't have to rely on it calling a third-party system, notifying them, then that person notifies your family member because they're right next to each other. They'll be notified immediately of a situation, and it could be used in conjunction with one of those personal emergency devices. But it's a pretty neat idea.
Yeah, so they're looking for instant notification, and you're right, that would take time for it to go up. And I think this was
I'm actually looking at the inside instructions, and it also indicates that it would be good for elderly or patient care. You push the button transmitter the push button transmitter can be used for emergency call for the elderly or the patient. So I guess if you're on a 2-floor house as well, or maybe a large enough house, and the patient wants to call their caregiver, they could do so and just ring, like when you're in the hospital when you're ringing for the nurse to come. It also says morning call for children. Hassle to get the children up in the morning for school? Don't worry. Just press the transmitter at your home and your kids will wake up on time. No more late for school.
Well, I never even thought of I never even read the info you're reading. That might be actually on the website. I just looked at that it had a high rating.
Yeah.
So that's why I ended up purchasing. But
hopefully it'll transmit between the two houses.
So let me put this back. And I don't know if I purchased this used now. I don't think I did. Yeah. Now let's try it out in the home, see how it sounds. They're different chimes, different sounds, and they're different volumes. So I plugged all three of them in, and you're gonna hear them all go off. There's one there. I put another one all the way over there. And then there's one on the other side over behind that table over there. So we're gonna press, and you're gonna hear, I don't know if you're gonna distinguish all three of them going off. Do you hear that one?
That's the video? No, could it be too close? Oh, yes.
Okay, they're going off. It's misleading because it sounds like one, but it's stereo. All of them are going off, so everybody on the floors are gonna hurt. Let me do the other one. Yeah, all of them are going off. My wife told me just to make sure that I let you guys know this. She told me to make sure that everybody knows this. It's basically plug and play. So I don't find or see any dip switches. So there's no configuration. The unit you get works with the devices you get. So these will work directly. I don't know if you can add additional units. I don't know if there's an option for that. I doubt it. I think it's already configured for each one, or it could be universal. Every one you have like this, you can set off. So if you see someone with one of these, you could drive by their home and press this and ring their bell. But we wouldn't want to do that. So there's no configurations, no setup, no nothing. You just plug and it works, and that's it. So let me show you the volume. The volume is down here. You press it. So as you saw, as you press it, it just goes all the way. So that's the loudest. That's lower, 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 and off. And the option is that you just keep pressing it until you get the sound quality you want or the sound volume you want. These are the different melodies, so let's see how many they are. That was a ding dong.
Okay, I've lost count after 10.
I'm gonna get a bunch of. This is gonna be demonetized, this video, because I'm gonna get copyright notifications. People need to hear it. Wow, 12 minutes of melodies, and I fast forwarded the last, I don't know, 20. I couldn't wait for it to finish. So there's a lot of different melodies to choose from. So I'm just curious. I'm gonna choose one, unplug it, and see if it stays or it goes to the default ding dong. So right now it's on the ding dong. I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna unplug it, plug it back in. Okay, so when you unplug it, it's going to default to the ding dong. Just to let you know, but I don't even know. I think there's 50 different melodies to choose from. One other thing I want to test is that to see if they all sync with the same melody, or do you know, some stay the same until I physically choose the melody that is initiated when you press the button. So I want to see if, let me see. So I'm going to choose another one. So I want to see if the other melodies sync. I mean, the other receivers sync with this receiver, and the same doorbell sound goes through all three. So it seems like it defaults. I'm a little bit confused. So it doesn't seem, I'm a little bit confused. It doesn't seem to. Do I have to do something? Maybe I have to hold and press? Yeah, they all default to the doorbell sound when the doorbell button is pressed. It defaults to the ding dong. So what are the other melodies for? Okay, so it should. Yeah, it defaults to the doorbell. There is a pairing process. They come paired already from the company, and there's a pairing process, and I'll have that at the end. Something about holding the volume button and the receiver and the remote at the same time to do the pair. But that'll be at the end if you ever need to pair them. So my wife came up with an idea. She thinks that I have to unplug the other ones to see if it keeps the melodies.
But it also indicates in the instructions how to choose your tune. You plug in the receiver, you press the music button of the receiver to select the tunes, then you press and you hold the volume button for about 3 to 4 seconds. The LED, so I guess that's what's setting the tune you chose.
Oh, okay, so let's go.
Okay, so now hold the volume button for 3 to 4 seconds and then press the transmitter.
Can you press the transmitter?
This is it right here.
Do I let it go?
Sure.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. So thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
So my wife read the instructions a lot better than I did. Can you plug that one in to see if it actually syncs? So now I've chosen this melody. I want to see if the other one gets the ding dong or gets this. No.
This is different.
So each one has to be set that way. In order to set it, and you have them all together. I just heard the ding dong on the other one. My wife set the instructions. I didn't get them. She figured it out. But anyway, they'll be at the end. So that's also the way that you sync them together somehow. It'll be there too. So you have to press the melody, then hold this for 3. So you press the melody you want. So we want that one. We hold the volume for 3 or 4 seconds. Right? Once it's held, you see the light go on, you press the remote. And it memorizes that now. And I don't know if you hear the background of the other one, it's making the noise of a doorbell. Okay, so let's see how far we can get with ringing this and see if my idea works. This is gonna be a quick test, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the receiver, plug it in. Let me see if I even have an outlet. Okay, I have one here. Just plug one right over here. Plug that in. Okay, and now what we're gonna do is measure. My son's gonna go out. I'm gonna take the receiver, and we're going to go out. Son, Can you bring this out? Let me get the tape measure. Hold on one moment. Let me, hold on. Let me tie this somewhere. I'm gonna put a key on the nail. And I'm gonna press it until, see how far it stops ringing. Hold on one moment, slow down. Can you do me a favor, go back into the garage and let me know when you don't hear it anymore? Okay, I've run out of driveway, and this is much further than they even need. But we'll see. Let's see how far. Is it still good? Show me a thumbs up. You still hearing it? No more? Okay, hold on. It just stopped. Now? Okay, so we're gonna mark this right here. So this is going to be 136 feet. Let's see how far the homes are. 136 feet was the furthest I got on a straight shot. As you saw, I got up to 136 feet. Now, at 140 feet, as long as I pressed the remote about 3 times, 2 to 3 times, the receiver did receive a signal and it did go off. So it actually did work. I just wanted to make sure, I wanted the exact number that in real world as to how far pressing the remote once and the receiver receiving it all the time took. And that was 136 feet. So I did a straight shot, so there was nothing in the way. There was this wall here, which is not a big deal. It's plywood, not a big deal. And I went from my garage to the end of the road there, which turned out to be 136 feet, and the signal was received. The homes are 50 feet apart, so it's 3 times the amount that's necessary. So hopefully this will work for them. I'll come back to you and I'll let you know if it worked, if my idea worked, which is to allow home A to be notified that someone in home B needs help. That's the idea I'm doing. So I'm gonna see what they feel about it, how they feel about the remote, and I'll let you know, okay? So it worked out great. House 1, which is the home that needs to notify House 2, which is right next door, of any kind of emergency. House 1 has the remote. House 2 has the receivers. And House 1, anywhere she goes in the home, when she presses the button, it actually, the receivers sound off. So it's working perfectly. There are 3 of them. They have one in the garage, one on their first floor, and one in their basement. And they're able to hear the sound anywhere in the home. But something even more, something else that I actually learned from the neighbors in buying this for that reason. Now, mind you, you should always have one of those medical alert things. You shouldn't just be dependent on this. This is just a secondary or third item you can use to be notified of any kind of emergency. Since they're right next door to each other, it would be great, or it would be a good thing that the person could notify the person just in case they can't get to their emergency pendant. They're able, if they can get to the doorbell remote, and they receive the sound, they can come over and assist the person. So anything helps, and this turned out to work very well. But there was an additional feature which the wife is benefiting from. Would you like to tell us when you learned that you actually could do what you...
The beautiful thing about this unit is that it can be done in 2 different houses with 2 different alarm notifications. If house number 1 alarm goes off, it rings differently than house number 2. And therefore, in our case, my husband knows which person needs the help by the sound of the alarm. It's a very good idea, especially if you cannot keep house number 1 in your area, a notification to know what's going on. Even though they may have the pendant to call another place, it's good that a family member or somebody can come and help them in the meantime. So I'm very happy with them. We have not had, thank God, to use them, but we have used them to experiment to see how they work. So we are very, very pleased with the object, and hope that other people can get to know them also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so house number 1 and house number 2, where is the gentleman's wife is in house number 2 and the sister is in house number 1. Now the wife can now contact the husband if he's in the basement and she needs assistance upstairs. So it works very well for all of them because they're able to actually get different sounds coming out depending on who rings it. So if house 1 rings, presses her bell, it rings differently than if the wife rings the bell within house number 2. So he knows exactly who's ringing the bell.
And according to the directions, I believe there are many more bells that you can use other than for 2 people.
I played it in the beginning and there must have been 50. I stopped counting at about 30. And I'm hoping not to get any copyright strikes. Hopefully I don't, because there are a bunch of melodies that are music or sounds. I think they have an Indiana Jones one, so hopefully that doesn't occur. But you have many, many, many different sounds to choose from. Anything else you would like to add?
No, just that I'm glad that it was discovered.
Yeah. So it worked. It's A+. It's excellent. It's working for the person's needs. And
also, though, we haven't used it in a while and experimented with it the other day, and it rang right on target.
Okay. So it's been about, has it been a month? Or?
At least a month.
Yeah, it's been about a month since they've had it and they've tried it different. Thank goodness they haven't needed it, but she's tested it and it's always ringing and it always works, and no issues so far. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it. Do you
Okay.
have any other ideas?
No, I think it's working great for the idea that we chose it for.
And the good thing about we have 3, but we're looking for a 4th. And when my husband is in the garage, if I ring the bell, he will hear it, as my sister too. He doesn't have to be in the house in order to hear it, and that's a good thing. The more units you have spread out, the better it is.
So the only person missing out is Shiloh, the dog.
Yeah.
He could have one on his collar, and when he's hungry, he could press it with his nose, right?
Yes.
All right. So I hope you liked the video. I guess we've covered everything.
Right.
Okay. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them below. Thank you. Bye. Let's say bye.
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 Some info on item. Wireless doorbell, FullHouse waterproof doorbell kit, distinguished front and rear doors, over 1,000 feet range and 60 chime, 5 levels volume and LED flash, for home office classroom. April 2, 2021. Cost, $31.99. Purchased on Amazon website. Distinguished front and rear doors, you can program each button to a different tone so you know where your guests are. This is a very convenient feature for multiple doorway entries. Longer range, up to 1,000 feet, 300 meters, in the open air from the transmitter, 150 meters if there are walls. Either you are occupied in the bedroom or at the kitchen, our wireless doorbell kit can remind you that someone is calling from outside. Never worry about missing visitors. 60 melodies and 5 levels volume and LED flash. The wireless doorbell offers a wide selection of 60 tunes for your choice. 5 level of volume range from 0 decibels to 110 decibels. Silent mode with just LED flash is available when you don't want to be disturbed. IP44 waterproof, The doorbell push button is rated IP44 and weatherproof for outdoor use. The doorbell chime is suitable for any home, townhouse, apartment, office, school, hospital, hotel or other application. Our wireless doorbell is certified with CE, RoHS, FCC. Expandable and easy installation. Expand your existing doorbell system with up to 8 transmitters and unlimited receivers. Simply plug the main doorbell chime into a wall outlet. Install the push button with provided double-sided tape or screws. Product description. Doorbell. Widely application for the wireless doorbell. The wireless doorbell kits can be used for a variety of applications, both at home and at the office. Did you know the new application of the wireless doorbell? Elderly or patient care. The push button can be used for emergency call for the elderly or patient. It is battery powered, easy to access for them too. Morning call for children. Hassle to get the children up in the morning for school? Don't worry, just press the push button at your home. Your kids will wake up on time, no longer late for school. Perfect for home, shop, office. With our wireless doorbell, you'll never miss a visitor. Doorbell. Doorbell. 5 levels volume and LED flash. Silent mode with just LED flash is available when you don't want to be disturbed. Technical specifications. Receiver operating voltage, AC 110 volts / 220 volts. Power consumption of transmitter less than 10 milliwatts. Wireless range, 1000 feet maximum, open space. Internal sounds, 60 melody. IP44 weatherproof and dustproof casing for outdoor use. Volume range, 5 adjustable levels, 0 dB to 110 dB. Button working temperature, 7F to 140F. How to choose your tune. 1. Plug in the receiver, press the music button of the receiver to select tunes. 2. Press and hold the volume button for about 3 to 4 seconds, the LED indicator lights up, then press the transmitter. Each doorbell set has been paired. Sometimes if the doorbell is stored for a long time, the pairing may fail. When it happens, please try the step 2 above. Suggestions. 1. Metal door will interfere with the signal and shorten the transmission range. Please do not install the transmitter on the metal door. 2. Please place the receiver in areas away from refrigerator, microwave and other high-power appliances. 3. The transmitter is IP44 waterproof, but we recommend installing a waterproof cover for long-term use. 2+2 doorbell 2 buttons push button doorbell. 2 push button plus 2 plug-in receiver. Product information. Size: 2 push button plus 3 plug-in receiver, color black. Technical details. Manufacturer FullHouse. Part number 43237-2. Item weight 10.4 ounces. Package dimension 6.2 by 4.6 by 2.8 inches. Batteries 2 CR123A batteries required. Included is discontinued by manufacturer no. Size: 2 push button plus 3 plug-in receiver. Color black. Voltage 110 volts. Batteries included? Yes. Batteries required? Yes. Battery cell type alkaline. Description: pile 23A 12 volts. Additional information. ASIN B07C24N61X.